I'm Sister Jean Schmidt. My full name is Sister Jean Dolores Schmidt, BVM, but since computers came out, my name doesn't all fit on the anything, and so have become known as Sister Jean most of the time. I'm 95 years old, and today is October the 12th, 2014. Actually, I grew up in San Francisco.
Okay.
And I had a great childhood. And it was 95 years ago, it was a long time ago. And when I was 2.5, I had a little brother. And I thought that was really neat that we had somebody else in the house too. And then when I was 6, I had another little brother. But the thing is that I thought he was a Chinese baby because we had a lot of Chinese living in San Francisco, and I was in first grade in a public school at that time. And so when there were Chinese and Japanese in my class, so I just thought he was one of them. But then he looked the same way we did. And so we knew he wasn't Chinese. We had a monkey. We had a friend who was an engineer on a boat that went to South America, a cargo boat that went to South America. And one night before he left on one trip, he said, "Oh, what would you like me to bring you back?" And we said, "Oh, a monkey." Never dreaming we'd get a monkey. But they received a monkey in the Amazon, and they were to deliver that monkey to the zoo in San Francisco, but they didn't know the monkey was pregnant. So the monkey had the baby on the boat. And when the law is that if that happens, the offspring cannot be brought to the zoo because the offspring hasn't gone through the rigid preparation that the mother has. So when they got to San Francisco, the captain said, "Well, who wants this monkey?" So this friend said, "Oh, I know 3 kids who would just die for it." So he brought it to our house, and he was just about this big. And people say, "What kind was he?" I don't know what kind he was. He was a monkey. And so, but he found it very hard to live in San Francisco because it was so cold. So my mom knitted him a little red sweater that he wore. And in the night, he had a little cage in our basement, in our garage. And my mom wrapped him in a blanket. And then in the daytime, he went outside. My dad had built a big house for him with swings and stuff in it. But he would never even move out of his blanket until my mom would bring him his coffee in the morning with sugar and cream and a piece of toast. And he would dunk the toast in the coffee, and then he'd pick up the mug just the way anybody else does, except he needed 2 hands, two paws, and he would just drink his coffee. I was 30 years at Mundelein, and this is the beginning of my 24th year here. I love to read. I love sports.
Yeah.
I go to nationally all the men's basketball and the women's basketball. I go to men's volleyball, women's volleyball, men's and women's soccer until it gets too cold at Hoyne Park. Well, I have a hard time between blue and red. I think I just love being with all of you because, first of all, you're so intelligent and you're so committed to what you want to do in life. Your group when I say your group, I mean, I would say within the last maybe 7 to 10 years, you are very generous people. And it's not because you're getting any more money for the work you're doing in various little jobs that you have, but and I think we have to thank the grade school, the elementary schools, and the high schools for this because they've taught you how to do service. You're also a generation that has known nothing but disaster. When you look back, even when you were probably maybe first grade or not even in school, when 9/11 happened and all that kind of thing, and all the disasters you've seen with Katrina and the tsunamis and what's going on today, it's never ending. So you've had a lot. You've suffered through a lot, and so you have more knowledge of what you want to do and what you think the world should do. Mm-hmm. And I love that. I love that because it's a real challenge. you.